What's up, y'all? Hey, I had to. Sorry. You ever get like the most interesting phone calls right before you do something? Y'all had to wait. Shit. What's up, y'all? Y'all had to wait. Hey, I had to. Sorry, I'm playing double audio. My audio doubling. There we go. Y'all had to wait. Like I had an interesting phone call, and I was hitting the blunt. I be handling business. I'm a different kind of fellow, you know. I'll get some of the most important business calls while I'm hitting the blunt in my basement. I be working. You know that we work with a blunt in your mouth. I ain't got my papers here with me no more. But you know how it is when you got a blunt in your mouth when you're working. I be like, yeah, go ahead, yeah, and yeah, right here, yeah. What was that? I'm like, yeah, So, cause I be having my speakers on, the Bluetooth speakers. Yeah. So what time the meeting gonna be? Okay, we gonna make that meeting. Okay, we gonna make that meeting for. Okay, yeah, we gonna make it for 6 o'clock. All right, yeah. That's what I'm. And I'm different, and so that's what I was doing. So y'all had to wait. I was handling business. Uh, so anyway, so what's up, Shelly? What's up, Dad Middle TV, Herc Owen, Manny, everybody that's up in here, Stuns, Humans, Pebbles, Shane, Marquise, and if I didn't get your name, it's because I'm only gonna read for so long. Oh, what up, Tat Lawson? That's one of our faithful members. I gotta say this. Appreciate all the members out there. I appreciate the people who are members. I appreciate the membership for supporting this channel. Just showing your support and love for the channel. The memberships are greatly appreciated. And for those of you that's over on Patreon, go back and look. Yesterday we did, after yesterday's show, I did a music follow-up, driving my point home with musical examples. I did that on Patreon, and that's something you're gonna see me doing more often because, you know, YouTube limits your use for music. Can't do music on YouTube other than the little snippets that I play, and even those are dangerous. Probably gonna stop doing those pretty soon. But on Patreon we can go all the way. So that's over on Patreon right now. So I wanted to at least get that business out the way. Of course, book your card readings. Patreon's about to get a little more active for my card reading crew. Add my backup YouTube channel, King of Cardology. More card reading stuff because it's gonna be going up over there too, and all that good shit. So anyway, we have been here. Melanin Moore, appreciate the super chat. Much appreciated. What's up, Netta? What's up, Project Leroy? Much appreciated. So anyway, let's go into it. We're gonna be talking today about first of all, we're gonna be talking about Kamala Harris, but let me lay the groundwork. To what we're gonna be talking about today, in my perspective. For those of you who are new to this channel, let me give you a background. And I welcome all my new subscribers. I got a ton of new subscribers recently. I appreciate y'all for joining. So if you've been subscribing for a while, you know this story. If you're new, you about to hear it for the first time. I am a former proud Democrat. When I was in college, when I was in my early 20s, you couldn't tell me nothing about Obama or nothing. And when I was a kid, let's go Bill Clinton. Man, I remember going back to 1988. I was 7 years old, and I was rooting for Michael Dukakis because I just knew something in me knew that George Bush 1 wasn't shit. And I was with the Democrats. I was proudly with the Democrats. I was with Michael Dukakis in 1988 at the young age of 7 years old. My mom used to take me to local city council meetings with Councilman Nate Holden. He was a city councilman over the Crenshaw district in South Central LA back in the 80s and the 90s. And if you're from LA, you know the name Councilman Nate Holden. And so I've always been politically astute, politically aware. Even though I talk about all the other shit that I talk about. I'm a Renaissance nigga. I do a lot of shit. But the political side of me, that was sort of embedded in me as a child when I would go to those Nate Holden meetings with my mom and my aunt Mabel. Yes, I had an aunt named Mabel, and she stayed over off Rodeo Road in West Boulevard, and so we stayed in that same area. So we used to drive our aunt Mabel to city council meetings with Councilman Nate Holden and Maxine Waters. This is when Maxine Waters was new. When she was a state politician before she went federal. So Maxine Waters, these names have been floating through my head since I was a child. So anyway, I said that to say, in 2008, 2009, sometime around there was a lady who called herself black. Her name was Kamala Harris. And I thought she was black because she looked black to me, and her name is Kamala, and her last name is Harris. You know how many math teachers I had named Miss Harris that looked just like her? So, of course, I'm rolling with it. So she had a fundraiser, and she had like a political rally party in Hollywood at a club that used to be known as Club Element. It was on Las Palmas, and Club Element was, and after it was named Club Element, it was named Club Sound for a while. Let me see here. I'm gonna pull it up for you. And so she threw a rally at this particular club, okay? And this is back in my days when I used to club all the time. So it was like she was targeting my demographic. She was targeting my demographic. It was at this club right here. And so she wanted us to, she needed us to come out and to be, to listen to her rally. And when she came out, she said that she was going to fix the justice system. She talked about how the justice system disproportionately affects black men. And as Attorney General of the state of California, she's going to do those things. She's going to right those wrongs. She said specifically, she's going to get justice for Matrice Richardson. Matrice Richardson, let me pull, if you guys don't know who she is. This was a campaign promise that she made. For those of you who don't know who Matrice Richardson is. Kamala Harris, this is a black woman that went missing in 2009. So so whenever this was 2009. Not said 8, this was after me. I remember this whole situation when I went to go see her was after Matrice Richardson. Well, Matrice Richardson she worked at Jeffries. I mean, she was drinking at Jeffries. Jeffries is up there on PCH. The police basically, the Malibu sheriff found her, arrested her. They basically went in and they arrested her, and then she disappeared. The woman just disappeared. And then she was later found, her body was found, and there were strong connections to the Malibu Sheriff Department having some sort of connection to this because she was last seen in their custody. And the whole situation stinks to high heavens and has bothered those of us who live in Los Angeles for a long time. And so she understood that this situation bothered us. So she said in her campaign promise that day that she's going to seek justice for Matrice Richardson because police need to be held accountable for what they do. And this is what she told us in that meeting. I mean, in that shindig that she threw at Club Sound, where it used to be back then Club Element. She went further into detail talking about how, and at the time, this is the 2010, she was local prosecutor in San Francisco, but I'm in LA. So I'm not really knowing what's going on in San Francisco politics. I know LA politics, I know state politics, but I don't know LA, I don't know San Francisco politics. People from San Francisco were saying she wasn't shit. I, like a lot of people, did not hear them. I'm not talking to somebody who always fucking knew it all. But I do remember echoes of people from San Francisco saying she wasn't shit. But I saw that woman, I was like, no. I went to her campaign. She sounds like she knows what she's gonna do. She sounds like she's gonna help the people. She sounds like she's gonna be the multi-wham, booty-bam, whoopty-wham. You dig? I'm thinking she gonna be all that. Only to, so, you know me, I'm working at this job. I'm working with kids at the time. I ain't making a whole lot of money. You know, the mortgage market had crashed, so I ain't making bread like that no more at this time in my life. But the little bread that I had, I put some money on her campaign because I believed in what she was saying. But here's the thing. For me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, if I donate to a politician, and I donate in every election locally, I donate to somebody if they talking what I want to hear. You know what I mean? And so, anyway, oh man, I'm getting a text message for a fun shindig. Send me the info. My homie is texting me about a shindig tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. Having fun is a high priority of mine. Well, anyway, when I put money on a politician, I'm gonna follow what they do. So I'm the kind of person that, going back to when I was in high school, I scanned the local section of the paper every day, or almost every day. I used to scan the sports section. I don't even read the sports no more. I used to read sports a lot. Sports is what got me into buying newspapers when I was in high school. But I would always read business, sports, politics, and local, whatever local is. And then the California stuff. And so I'm just a person that be scanning the papers every day anyway. So when I would see these stories about Kamala Harris popping up, I would read them once she became state attorney general. So my point of view on Kamala Harris isn't coming from the point of view of a lot of you guys. There are a lot of people out there that, you know, they have to get put up on game as to who Kamala Harris is. No, sir. No. I've been following her closely since 2009. We're in 2024. She was my state's attorney general. She was my state's senator. So it was my job, it was my civic duty as an educated voter to follow the people who are in my electorate. Okay? I don't play politics like a lot of you fools out there that vote blue no matter who. I understand how it works because I opened up a fucking political science book one day and said, if you want to affect change with politicians, this is the way to do it. And one of those ways was to not fully commit your vote until that politician shows you something that they're going to offer, that they're offering you something that you can get behind. And Kamala Harris offered me something as a voter to get behind. Only to, as I lived in this state, only to see Kamala Harris not follow through with what she said she was going to follow through with. One second. Only for her to follow through with what she said she wasn't going to follow through with. Multitasking. Now, that was a business text. Went from a fun text to a business text. God damn, I be busy. But I love talking to y'all, so fuck it. We doing this. So anyway, Kamala Harris gave me some things I can get behind. Making police accountable. Me personally, I'm not a criminal. I've never been arrested for anything. I've never stolen from anybody. I'm a by the book ass nigga. I'm a by the book person. I've always been by the book. You know, I don't break laws. You know, not intentionally. We all gonna do something that it's a law against everything on earth, so they can find anything and make you say you're illegal. But I've never stolen or done anything to anybody, and I have a very good reputation in these streets. So I'm not somebody that the legal system necessarily runs. I don't run up against the legal system. And in the times I've gotten pulled over by the police, I've found ways I get myself out of them situations. Other than going back to this situation right here with Patrice Richardson, what made that story so nerve-wracking to me was because the last time I was put on the hood of a car was with those same Malibu sheriffs. Back in the day, way back in the day, back when me and my wife was like, before we even started dating, when we was just homies, when we were just friends. I used to play the drums sometime at this bar up in Malibu. And so I'll sometimes be leaving these bars in Malibu. I'm talking up Malibu Creek Road. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking up Las Virgenes. If you know what I'm talking about. If you know Malibu, you know what I'm talking about. You know Las Virgenes. You know Canaan Road. Up in them areas. I'll play some, do some, on the drums. I was on my drums heavy back then. So I'll be doing shit up in Malibu. So it'll be nothing for me to leave Malibu at 3 a.m. And so one time I got pulled over. This is back when I used to drive my F-150. I got pulled over because I had an F-150 with 22s on it. And that's why I got rid of that car and got an Audi as my next car. I learned my lesson back then. Well, I didn't because I ended up getting a Tahoe later on, same situation. Well, anyway, they pulled me over, and I was with my friend at the time, who's my wife now. They pulled us out the car, and they had me on the hood of that F-150 for 45 minutes. It's the only time I had ever, my whole life, had to have my hands on the hood like that. Usually here in LA, I don't know how to talk my way out this shit, you know? And plus, like, I got family that's cops. So I'll be like, whoopty wham, you know, such and such. And I got friends. And I got people that love me who ain't even friends, family, neighbors and shit. So I'll be like, you know, such and such, whoopty bam. And they'll be like, all right. I used that shit all the time back in my 20s. I never really got fucked with like that. But everybody else didn't have what I had. I had a mouthpiece that can get out of shit. Everybody else didn't have that. So just because I don't go through it, don't mean I can't see my brother going through it. What kind of fuck nigga are you to be like, well, it ain't my problem? No, it wasn't my problem. But it's too many other black men's problems, so it is my problem. Because at any point, these crackers could try it on me. And they did. And Malibu Sheriff, they had me on the hood of, they had me and my then friend, now wife, on the hood of my car for 45 minutes. Ended up nothing happening, nothing done, and going to get into my car. And this what happened. When I would get in my car in Malibu, this is what they would do sometime in Malibu. Because one of my favorite restaurants is in Malibu. It's a restaurant called Paradise Cove. I love Paradise Cove. It's right down the street from that same Jeffries you just saw. Paradise Cove. If you go there like in the summertime right now, you can sit on the beach and you see the dolphins flipping and shit in the water. I love going to Paradise Cove. So, but I would back then, I used to go to Paradise Cove all the time. Sometimes I would go to Paradise Cove, and Paradise Cove is way deep up in Malibu. It's way deep up in Malibu, Paradise Cove. It's like, let me see here. Let me pull up on maps. This is what they would do in Malibu. This what made me sensitive to Kamala Harris and her bullshit ass promise. Like, this is what made me sensitive to it. Right here. Like, I remember I would go to Paradise Cove sometimes, right here. This is Point Magoo. This is Big Rock. When y'all see that in TV commercials with Big Rock. Let me see here. El Matador. Where's here we go. Where is it? Right here. Here you go. Here it is. This is Paradise Cove. And this is where she worked. She worked at Jeffries, which is right down here. Jeffries right here. This is where Matrice Richardson worked, right here, Jeffries. This is where she was last found before the police took her. And when you black and they see you black getting in your car, they would sometimes put a LA County Sheriff's car right on me. And that motherfucker would tell me and be right there on the hip of my car. And if you black, they see you black, they'll have you right there on the tip. They'll just tell you all the way past the Malibu Pier, all the way down until you get out of Malibu. And here's where you leave Malibu. Big Rock, right about here. So this is about a 20-mile drive from Paradise Cove to here. Now about a 10-mile drive. And they will sit there and follow you. When you black, they fuck with you. So Kamala Harris, when she gave us that campaign promise, it was one of them situations that really struck me dearly. It really did. And I can't forget that. I can't unsee that. Same thing with, it wasn't just that, There was another time that she did. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. The article. Let me see if I can find the article on the fire department. Kamala Harris. Prisoners. I'm giving you just some real time stuff. I'm Googling this off the top of my head because I just remember the shit when it happened. Here it is. Here's one. Here in California, we have a major fire issue thing going on right now. And it was really bad back in the 2010s. We weren't getting much rain. There's a lot of fires. And Kamala was somebody who promised, oh shit, they want me to pay for it, and I ain't paying for shit. I ain't signing up for a motherfucking thing. Kamala kept prisoners locked up inside jail. So, because they were cheap labor. Here we go. I airdropped this to myself. Here we go. 2014. She was going around and she was keeping prisoners in jail past their sentence so that they could fight wildfires. That's what she was doing. And it don't stop there. She is somebody who, one of my homeboys who's a comic from San Francisco, brother man just inbox me. I'm gonna cover his name up. But I'm gonna cover his name and his logo. Cause he's a known comic. Let's see if I can do this without revealing who he. No, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna screenshot it. This is the message I got earlier today. I'm gonna screenshot it, take his name out. Ooh, I could check. Oh yeah, when you screenshot shit, you can move the borders so you don't see who it is. Bam, just screenshotted it. Now I'm gonna airdrop it. Screenshot, ooh, airdrop. Here we go. This is a text message I got earlier today from one of my comedian homies. Let me make sure his name is covered up. All right, cool. I want to make sure I don't have his name out. Because he's funny, but he's not political at all. He done been in them streets and he's just trying to live in that. And I salute to the people who aren't political. If you're not political, don't be political. I'm fine with that. I'm not the kind of person, I'm not some arrogant dickhead that says everybody needs to be political and everybody needs to do what I do. I'm not that guy. But I am a guy, if you're not political, shut the fuck up and let the people who are political talk. That is me. But this is a text message. You see, I got this at 2:42 p.m. This is after he had saw something I posted up on social media. He said, I'm a personal product of Kamala Harris. She was the DA in San Francisco when I was deep in them streets. Man, she used to do us wrong. I was part of the city gang injunction that she's behind. I used to go to jail for something simple as being in my house with my blood brother. For those of you who want context of that, and this is some shit you only gonna get here on my channel. This is just, everybody got their own thing, but when you come here, I got my unique thing that I do that you only gonna get here. But this is the message that I got earlier, and he said it was simple. And let me tell you something behind that. That's because gang injunction laws, the way gang injunction laws work, if you're in a gang and that gang is connected to a recent crime, if you're around someone associated with that gang, you can be arrested too, and you will get arrested. That's why the prison rate went so high in California for black men. It's because only one person had to do a crime for 40 people to go down. We used to call them, they in the media used to call them gang sweeps. And if you were raised in LA, if you were raised in the Bay, you know what I'm talking about. If you were raised in California, you spent every time you turned on Channel 9 News, KCAL 9 News, every time you turned on KTLA, Oh, the police sweep up local. There's a 40-person gang sweep in Compton last night. That's what she was behind. So this is a text message I just got from my homie. But he's apolitical, so I can't put his name out there like that because that's not his thing. But I do speak up because I know motherfuckers marginalize niggas like him. So I ain't got a record. Because the first thing people will be like, well, black folks do be committing crime. Well, nigga, talk to me, I don't. I'm speaking up for the niggas who do commit crime. Because I understand that black men were once black boys. And boys make irrational decisions. And I ain't talking about the ones who murder, and because it's only a handful that do. The murder rate is extremely small relative to the population that's out there and relative to other crime. I'm talking about your people who are just out there banging, trying to get around. Look, if we have resources in this country, well, we do have resources. If we shared those resources with these people, they wouldn't be banging. What's my proof? My proof is the period in LA in the time between post Watts riots and pre-war drugs. All those gangs, the Slausons, the businessmen, when they were given the opportunity to get an education and get jobs in 1966 after the Watts riots, they ended up going to UCLA. They ended up going to Berkeley up in the Bay. They ended up working for the Firestone Tire Factory that was down there on Firestone in Santa Fe. They took advantage of the opportunities when they got them. But since this country is set up in a way that takes opportunities away from young black men, I understand. Although I wasn't a gang member, matter of fact, when I was a kid, I couldn't stand gang members. Them fuckers used to fuck everything up. We be down the pool ready to go swim, and these niggas want to go fighting and shit. Like, dude, fucking dickheads. So I didn't necessarily like gang members either. Like, man, these niggas always fucking shit up. They be shooting. You know how many times when I be in youth service as a kid at church? My church was on Adams and La Brea. Nigga, that was the hood back in the day. Nigga, you know how many times we be on Wednesday night Bible study just to hear niggas crack, 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 crack outside? Matter of fact, I found out about gangs through my church because the whole hood went to my church. Nigga, at my church growing up as a kid, we used to have 60s on 40s fights at Friday Night Live youth revivals. I kid you not. Appreciate the super chat, Project Leroy. I'm putting in Simone video later on. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that though. So that's who I am. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna speak up because if it's my brother's problem, it's my problem. And I say that with my chest. If it's something my other black man is going through and I'm not going through it, it's still my problem. Because at any point, these crackers can choose to target my black ass. And I hope like hell that I get the treatment that I give. I ain't gonna be that nigga that's going around acting like you better than niggas. And then as soon as something happens, oh, black folks, please, I need your help. Nah, nigga, I'm putting my feet down right now and so where I stand with my people. And y'all not always gonna agree with me. And I'm not gonna always agree with y'all. And sometimes when y'all disagree with me, I might choose to crack jokes and talk about your big ass nose or talk about, you know, your fucked up teeth and crack jokes because I'm an asshole like that. I'm a nigga. We crack jokes in disagreements, but we still love, you know? Still love. I might decide to say some shit about your ugly ass feet just because I feel like it. But it don't mean I love you. That's part of the Black American tradition of talking shit and getting back to loving each other. So I ain't nobody's leader and I ain't gonna always be right. But I do stand on the side of what's right and what's wrong when it comes to my people. And this is wrong. And look at the last thing he said, bro. No, he said, so many people, she affected industries for the dumbest shit ever. To all my people out there who are apolitical, I got a bunch of dope comic friends who they know how I get down. Yeah, I don't mind being that one to step out and tell the stories. I have courage. And not to say that they don't. Everybody's route ain't this. Everybody just and to say to people who don't do this is not that they're not courageous. Some people have different routes to this thing. There's some people who need to be all the way intertwined within the system for that shit to pop off. And that's good. We need people with this consciousness in those systems. And they shouldn't have to say anything, because if they do say something, the system is going to eat them alive. You can't be a deviant within a system that's that corrupt. The system eats you alive. That's what it's designed to do. The system is designed to eat people alive. I chose not to be a part of the system. And if I do deal with the system, it's going to be at my discretion. And there's people in the system who are like this, who will speak up, because, you know, they're not all the way. It's different levels of being in the system. There's some people out there who are in the system of entertainment who just dabble their toe in that shit. I know I got some homies, they just put their foot in that bitch. They get a commercial here, they get a reoccurring role there, and they off the back to doing what they do. I got other people who they swimming in the system, but they in the kiddie pool. They got a TV show here, TV show there, get a role there. But when it comes to going to all them weird ass parties, they kind of like, I'm good. Because everybody in the system ain't corrupt. Matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say 95% of the people in the system, in the entertainment system, have good intentions. I will go so far as to say that 90% of the people within the entertainment system have good intentions. They really, it's like the entertainment system is no different than your job or anybody else's job. There's levels to it. And most people are just there to get a paycheck. And if you're just there to get a paycheck, you don't need to be talking like I talk. I'll talk for you. And even with me, because I do dabble with working with the system sometimes, I ain't gonna say certain shit. I can tell you right now, DeJuan Brown ain't saying shit about people with small hats. Not a damn thing. If you want somebody to talk about them, you need to go find one of them other channels. Go find one of them niggas in New York who just got out of prison. They'll tell you everything you need to know about the people that wear yarmulkes. I ain't saying shit. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I ain't no goddamn fool. Shit. You want to know more about the yarmulke motherfuckers, nigga, pick up a book. DeJuan Brown will not be your source for that. I'll tell you niggas that shit right now. Anyway, this is who Kamala is from people who live where she reigns her terror. So when you listening to these people talk, people have stories. So this is my point of view when I talk about Kamala Harris. I'm a person that this is some real shit to me, man. This is some real shit to me. And another thing I want to say is I probably should have started like this. I probably should have started the show with this. Look, before we go any deeper into anything politics, let me tell you what I've always said. Politics is a fun facade. It's a play. None of this shit's real. What happens in politics is no different than the WWF wrestling. It's no different than the NBA. It's no different than the Housewives of Atlanta. No different than any Marvel comic movie. It is an entertainment script with a predetermined outcome. The people who really run this government, we don't know their fucking names. People like to be like, oh, it's this group, it's that group. I don't know which the fuck group it is. But I am secure in the fact that I don't know how the fuck they look. I don't know their names. And what we have played out is a drama to keep the citizenry engaged in the process so they can continue the illusion of government. We don't control shit. And I got baptized in us not controlling shit because even here in California, we have propositions. And I'll never forget in 1994, we voted in Prop 187 that said, hey, we don't want to pay. Well, it wasn't me. I was only 13 years old. I couldn't vote. But I remember watching this shit and watching the people vote in saying they don't want to pay for a school or education for illegals. And the state said, we don't give a fuck what y'all want. We're going to still pay for this shit. I remember Proposition 8 When the state said, 2008, said the California said no on gay marriage. You know what the state said? We don't like the way the people voted, so we're going to do it anyway. You know what the state did when it came to, even when it came to like the legalization of like the way we wanted to legalize, the state didn't do it that way. The state does whatever the fuck it wants to do, even if you're voting on a proposition. We voted for a proposition to store for water storage facilities for the state. Where the fuck is going on? What's going on with that? Water runoff. Where's the money? We've been in California voting for high-speed rail since the 90s. They just now breaking some shit to go to Vegas, but we've been voting on high-speed rail from LA to San Francisco since the 90s. And we still ain't got no fucking high-speed rail system. Voting is a sham. It's a way to act as if we're engaged. So understand that. But with that being said, politics is a fun drama to watch. It's entertaining, just like basketball. It's just it's funny as fuck. It's fun. It's fun. Like, it's just engaging. And I like to see how people react to the play. And we talk shit in politics the same way. I'm a Laker fan. Well, I'm not a Laker fan as long as LeBron James is there. Well, I'm a traditional Laker fan. And I talk shit to Bulls fans. I talk shit to, and it's all fun and games. But don't take the shit too serious. Because whatever these politicians do, it's going to be at the grace of what the ultimate powers that be, or used to be, want us to do. With that being said, whoever is elected, they do have slight differences in agenda. The difference is like if you elect the left, it's okay, we gonna fuck you over this way, but you're getting fucked over. If you the right, we gonna fuck you over this way, but Lord, we gonna fuck you like a train. That's what politics is. It's the government and the people who run and control all the money against the rest of us. And we play into the drama when we participate in a system like this. But the way I participate in the system is active disengagement. What is politically active disengagement? I'm very politically active, but I'm not going to engage just because of the fuck you told me to engage. When it comes to me voting, I have no issues voting for myself. I'm not going to click neither one of them hoe ass motherfuckers when this ballot comes. When that ballot comes, you're going to see what I had the last few times I voted. My vote for president is going to be Dr. Funkenstein. Yesterday was George Clinton's birthday. Happy birthday to George Clinton. That's who the fuck I vote for president. Every 4 years. Dr. Funkenstein. So if you ask me who I'm voting for, that's the answer. I'm voting for Dr. Funkenstein. But it's other things that, you know, when it comes to the political parties, they can be, okay, the left is going to push for LGBTQ, immigration, and that kind of shit. The right is going to put cutting corporate taxes. They're going to push for Heritage Foundation bullshit. But the left is going to push for Act Blue Foundation bullshit. Act Blue don't have nothing positive for me. And neither does a Heritage Foundation. And so the way I'm looking at it is, this is the way I'm looking at it. Then I'm going to get into these to these political pundits. But this is the way I'm looking at it. And I'm going to get into more news after this. The thing that's been keeping this thing working and this plane even this whole time has been black people. Black people going back to since we've been able to vote, going back to the election of 1868, the election of 1870, we put in over 100 black people in office in the 1870 election. 1872, 74, 76, we did a lot. We as a people, since that 12-year run we had during Reconstruction was busted up, white people are evenly split on how they're going to get fucked over by the government. The Republican side, the Democrat side. There's no more Moose and Bull party. There's no more Whig party. There's no more populist party. Just the Republicans and the Democrats and the independents whenever they feel like they're not a real party, the independent. They caucus. So the only real party is Republicans and Democrats. These motherfuckers can't get along. They disagree over a lot of things. The only thing the Republicans and Democrats agree on is fucking black people over. They disagree on how to fuck over black people because the Democrat believes in bringing us closer and making sure they can watch every single thing we do and give us nothing but a few scraps and keep us in close eye shot. And the Republican side is to give us nothing and to push us over there and keep them away from us. The only thing they agree on is giving us nothing. So the way I see it through my politically active disengagement is if I disengage from both parties and their votes now have to go up against each other and we're not the swing, because we're always the swing vote. Even though we're small but mighty. Because we vote in such a large block, we sway elections depending on whether or not we decide to show up and vote. When we decide to vote, we tend to vote Democrat. So without us, the Democrats get nothing. Because even immigrants, after they've been in America for about 10 years, they like the sounding of that extreme racist Republican talk. We keep the ship even. If we disengage, and shit, what if we allow the Republicans to do what they do? What the fuck can they do? What the fuck can the Republicans do to us that George Bush didn't do with the Patriot Act? You want to talk about Project 2025? Nigga, do you know what the Patriot Act is? Project 2025 ain't got shit on what was passed 20 years ago. Look it up. Look at the Patriot Act. You already ain't got no goddamn rights. What the fuck y'all crying about Project 2025 for? All any president got to do is declare a state of martial law, and everything that's in Project 2025 can happen right now. Did you know that? Powers given to him after 9/11 signed by President Bush. So I ain't worried about what these motherfuckers are gonna do. We gonna be fine. So thank you for the super chat, super villain. He said, yeah, he said, yeah, some of the old Teamsters contractors versus newly Beltway contractors. Right. So that is my point of view when it comes on Kamala. Now, let's talk about her good old boys, her do boys. And while we're here, we got over 600 here on X, damn near 500 on YouTube. Y'all need to go to DewanB.com for all things Dewan B, all things me. You know, got the documentary that I'm filming another part on Tuesday. We got the Fuck Around and Find Out t-shirts. Got the Black American Music Family Tree canvas poster. Unframed and framed t-shirt. All the good shit right now. I got the entertainment side of the game going on here. Got the business side, breakthroughcards.com. For all your card reading needs. Go to right now to breakthroughcards.com. And then also go to not that one. I'm gonna go this one. Come on over to Patreon right now and join the live interview lounge. We have a lot of good shit. Let's say we talked about after I did my show Conspiracy to Destroy Black Music. We got that going on right now. We got the modern impact of game changing, the modern impact of the 808, the show that we had yesterday. I gave you a music sonic breakdown of all that shit. So all that's going on right now over on Patreon. I'm over here thinking I'm sharing my shit. My bad. I'm not even sharing the screen. Here you go. Patreon.com. I'm over here thinking I'm sharing the screen and shit. My bad. But y'all can go right now to Patreon. We got a lot of dope shit. Got a lot of dope shit. A lot of dope shit going on. The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Music series is ongoing. We're going to have another meetup next week and go deeper in on the conspiracy to destroy black music. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So let's now start talking about the bootlicks. So let's talk about these bootlicks, all right? This is Bootlicking Broadway, Bootlicking Tuesday. Let me go back to Twitter. Where was I had some of this shit bookmarked. So, I always say this. If you want to know where Kamala Harris is spending the donations that she's gotten recently, look no further than Black Twitter and Black celebrities on Twitter. Oh my God, they are coming out the woodworks. You got people, you got motherfuckers who don't vote, who ain't said nothing political since 2020, coming out the woodworks telling us who to vote for. They always got something new. Now the whole thing is we're not going to vote against, we're not going to vote for Kamala. We're voting against Project 2025. How many times? How long can they scare you niggas? How long can they keep scaring us? So now what they doing is they're bringing out the celebrity class to speak for us. And they're all saying, hey, black people, time for you niggas to get in line. And before I go there, let's look at some shit right here. Let's look back on some Kamala right here. This is Kamala.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Look at her action. Look at her. Watch her body language.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
She gave y'all the arrogant.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Yeah.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst.
I appreciate the Cash App. James, got the Cash App from James, man. Y'all done send me some Cash Apps. Appreciate the Cash App, James. Starlet Thompson, I appreciate the Cash App. Much, much love and much appreciation for that.
The Democratic Party for a very long time, not just this election cycle, has been doing a lot of active outreach around South Asians, around the API in general, and will continue to do it. I mean, what we know in particular when you're talking about the South Asian community, we're talking about the Indian community more specifically, it is a growing community in the United States in terms of its voting bloc, in terms of its participation, and I think the party knows that and knows that this is part of our collective community, and there needs to be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
She said some shit in her Indian language, knock wood. Where the fuck that means? See, black people don't even know what the fuck she just said. And y'all think y'all share a culture with her?
Like every other year. My grandparents were phenomenal. We would go back to India like every other year. My grandfather fought for and was a defender of the freedom of India. When I was a young girl, being the eldest grandchild, my grandfather would take me on his morning walk. All of his buddies, who also were great leaders, they would talk about the importance of fighting for democracy. and the importance of fighting for civil rights and that people would be treated equally regardless of where they were born or the circumstances of their birth. Get out there and fight for the best of who we are. Those walks along the beach in India really planted something in my mind and created a commitment in me before I even realized it. It has led me to where I am today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my true distinct pleasure to introduce the first senator of Indian American heritage in the history of U.S. Senate.
Please join us and text South Asians to 70785.
Does she have like that for any of you niggas? I got that from my girl, Miss G. She dope as fuck. Because that was in response to this message from none other than Isaac Hayes Jr. And this overall show, this is about people like him and people like Kamala Harris, because they're one and the same. They run on black.
Democratic Party for a very long time, not just this election cycle.
They want to appeal to black based on black, but don't offer nothing towards black. You see, these here were two different discussions where Kamala was reaching out to specifically South Asian people. Specifically South Asian. But look at what Isaac Hayes had to say, Jr., or the third. Black women are watching you try to tear down an overqualified black woman, trying to fulfill her
doing a lot of active outreach
barriers.
around.
So if you ask me why
South Asians, around the API in general, and we'll continue to do it.
Damn. If you ask me why I'm talking about shit, some of that Gatorade didn't go down right. If you ask me why I'm talking about Kamala based on blackness, it's because they're trying to get us to vote for her based on blackness. They're trying to get her to vote for her because she hasn't offered any policies. Matter of fact, this is the only policy she ever offered to black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
But I mean, what we know in particular.
That's the only policy. That's the only time she's ever addressed us directly. So she hasn't said anything to black people since this. So now we got the corn picking niggas trying to shame us into voting for her based on blackness.
It is a growing community in the United States in terms of its voting bloc, in terms of its participation, and I think the party knows that and knows that this is part of our collective community, and there needs to be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
Knock wood.
Like every other year.
Knock wood, knock wood.
I want to bring the conversation.
So yeah. So then we'll listen to this from this here. These are the other kind of niggas that we have voting for Kamala. Listen to Slim Thug talk.
I probably help, but keeping it real, I am gonna have to vote for Kamala just simply because she's a black woman. I would be a sucker not to. I don't know shit about the woman. I don't even care who the president on the cool. Like, I really don't give a damn about either one of them, keeping it real. But just, I gotta support the black woman because I'm a black man and the black woman needs a black woman. The black woman needs a black man's support. So that's how I'm basing my shit. White people are doing.
Hey, question, chat room. I don't listen. I listen to as little Slim Thug as possible. Does Slim Thug have a catalog of music that uplifts black people? Question. I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna play real humble. Think another the answer, but I'm gonna play real humble. Chat room, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Does he have a catalog of music that empowers black people? I'm trying to figure out where all this pro-blackness came from. No, okay, so not just me. You agree? No, nope, hell no, hell nah, not Slim Thug. Okay. So a man that represents black society is a thug. All of a sudden becomes political now.
Do the same shit. Mexicans will do the same shit. Asians will do the same shit. Straight up like that. I don't really get it.
So
I don't even care who the president. I'm the black woman need a black man support. So shit, straight up like that. I don't really give a damn about.
So everybody else does it. So, and this is why I want to bring that part up, because one thing I noticed politically, especially since the 60s, part of you might be asking, Dewan, why are you doing this? What's your purpose? What's your goal? Do you want Trump in? First off, you scary fuck. Trump doesn't scare me. He was already president and he didn't do shit. I pay attention to politics. Give me some legislation that he signed that targets black people from 2016 to 2020. Then let's have a talk about Trump. I don't support him, but he don't scare me either. Kamala, on the other hand, has championed legislation that hurt us. Fool. Second, when it comes to this, in my opinion, from just going back to really to the 70s and really the 80s, when we started seeing the explosion of black mayors around the country in the 70s and 80s, when they want to screw over a particular group of people, they get some of the party backs someone of that people's race and culture to do it. After the 60s, they saw the way we was riding in the 60s. And they realized they can't rule with a white iron fist anymore. Black people won't take it. So what they had to do is, with all due respect, they had to bring in Andrew Young to Atlanta, Tom Bradley here to LA. And while Tom Bradley was mayor of LA, they used that as a shield for Chief Willie Williams Bernard Park, for Chief Daryl Gates, for Chief Daryl Gates to rain hell on us. When they was raining hell on people in LA with Chief Daryl Gates with the crash unit, they made sure a black person was the mayor. It's happening right now in Atlanta. It's happening in Baltimore. When they want to screw a population over, they get someone that looks like them to do it. You can't screw black people like that in the city of Chicago without a black mayor being the one to do it. You can't do that with a white mayor. You can't do these things. So when they want to put a black president in, Obama, think about it, 2008. Go to your city in 2008. If you live in the black side, was your black side of town still the black side of town in 2008? Let's think about it for a second. When Obama took office, let's go back to 2008, because I was one of them happy niggas too when Obama got in office. When Obama got in office, your black neighborhood was still black. The economic downturn had hit, but we still had our neighborhoods. By the time Obama left office, most of your neighborhoods started changing. Am I lying? Did they not sneak that gentrification shit right up under? By the time we looked up and got off the Obama juice, the environment for the lending industry changed. All the legal moves, all the moves you could have made 6 years prior, you can't make no more. because you was over here partying it up. We got a black president. Let's not pay attention to what he's doing and what he's allowed to allow happening, what he's allowed to be done, I should say. Police killings ramped right back up under Obama. Trayvon Martin. They told us right in front of our face, we can kill you. Let's think about the symbolism here and what was going on. Let's take a step back and look at this shit through our mind's eye. Black president in office. Trayvon Martin. Eric Gardner. Sandra Bland. Rekia Boyd. Alton Sterling. Some of the hottest times in police killings happened when you had a president who has a Department of Justice at his disposal to go look through those police departments with a fine-tooth comb. And he didn't exercise that power. Yeah. America showed us who it is, and they waited till the black president was in office to do it. And here's why I say that. Because, again, I'm from L.A. I was here when the riots happened in 92. You know what Bush did? The white boy Bush, and it's actually, he paid a political consequence for this, too. The white boy, President Bush, when the riots happened in L.A., he put the LAPD under federal investigation. And that federal investigation that President Bush, #1, put on the LAPD ultimately ended up in a very weak, but still somewhat substantive Rampart police scandal unveiling. And in that Rampart LAPD scandal, everything that we were talking about between OJ, the LA riots, and before got unveiled. This was all an ultimate result of a president using his power to investigate a corrupt police department that got a lot of people fired and got a lot of stuff exposed. And being in LA, I can tell you, the LAPD has changed a lot since then. That's the power of what a federal investigation can do. And we had a black president in office that refused to exercise that power time and time and time and time again. So you get a certain conclusion that's drawn. Usually when they run somebody on color, on vote for me because I'm this color, or vote for me because I'm that color, you're the person that they're probably going to target. No different than the Republicans do. The Republicans have these white people thinking that Donald Trump is on their side, when the majority of Trump's policies is going to hurt the average day-to-day white person. Same thing with Bush 1, Bush 2. I'll never forget when Bush 2 ran. Bush 2, everything Bush 2 was talking about hurt middle American white people. It hurt us as black people too. Patriot Act, that hurt them white folks. The truth in when he did that truth faith-based initiatives, President Bush 2 had one of the first things he approved of when he got to be president in 2001 was something called faith-based initiatives, which basically muddied the line between church and state, giving churches money from the government, and that wasn't at the best interest of those old white folks that voted for that. There was little to nothing that white man did, but because he ran on being white, and he ran on, I'm a commoner just like you. I'm President Bush. I'm just like you. I'm a dumbass and idiot just like you. Those fucking idiots voted him in. And the United States went from having a surplus to this motherfucker doing what he did, putting those conservatives on the Supreme Court. And Obama was done better We voted for Obama, knowing that he'd have conservative picks. I mean, knowing that he's have Supreme Court picks. Did Obama put any black people on the Supreme Court? No. He put Sotomayor and others. Put white women, them. Not us. They play the same trick on both sides. And that's something that people don't tend to understand. No child, what's up, natural immunity? Yeah, no child left behind. That fucked over white people. Because do you know what No Child Left Behind did? It stripped white schools down to where now them white kids are getting an equal education of black kids. No Child Left Behind, because black schools been poisoning. It's just that they break laws to poison black schools. I know. I'm an IEP advocate. I know this shit. When you want to talk about breaking laws, when you want to talk about fuck calling me. When you want to talk about who knows the ins and outs of what's going on in these schools, you talking to that nigga right here. This mother company website, Breakthrough Advocacy Services. I'm an IEP advocate. You know how many fucking IEPs I've gone through? You know how much IEP support I've given people in this fucking city? I know the rights. I know the rules. I know what these schools are doing to these kids. You want to know about your parental rights? You can go to my own black ass website. Go to my website. Don't go to theirs, go to mine. I'll teach you about the rights that this is what I do long before YouTube. This is my history before YouTube. We all have lives before YouTube. And this is mine. Since 1995, since I was 14, doing this shit. This is my life before YouTube. So when brothers like he said No Child Left Behind, I remember seeing the ramifications of No Child Left Behind while it was happening. Because I was in the schools back then dealing with these kids. But black kids were already going through this shit. This No Child Left Behind bullshit. Pushing kids. Basically what No Child Left Behind did was people who weren't ready to move on, it still pushed them through and let them graduate so that kids can graduate with the people in their class. And it was supposed to provide supplemental education in the summertime that was going to catch them up to grade level, which it did not offer funding. So most schools didn't offer that to the kids. So kids ended up getting pushed along and pushed out through school without knowing shit. Well, black kids been going through that shit since the 70s. All Bush's No Child Left Behind policy did was make it codified so now white kids get that same treatment. And they voted for that. So yeah, you can miss me with that whole, oh man, everybody else do it. Yeah, just because, like my grandmama used to always say, when I used to want to do what the rest of the kids did, my grandmama would grab my ear. If the rest of them kids jumped off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge too? Use your brain. Use your brain. Y'all have black grandmamas, y'all know. How many of y'all black grandmamas use that one? Press number 1 if your grandmama used that one. If everybody jumped off the bridge, are you gonna jump off the bridge with them too? I know my black grandmama wasn't the only one that gave me that wisdom when I was a little boy. I know my black grandmama wasn't the only one that gave me that wisdom. So that's what we have going on here. Yeah, you heard that all the time. Use your mind. And so now you got a rapper who spent zero part of his career being pro-black, now all of a sudden wanting to be black.
Politics.
I'm done with him. Let's go further. Oh, tomorrow at noon, I'm going to have Nicole's View. Me and Nicole's View are going to have an interview tomorrow. She's going to break down a lot of this stuff. You know Nicole's View, she's behind a lot of the unveiling of the bullshit going on with the Michael Jackson case, of the Bill Cosby case. She's one of our black American sisters who's 10 toes down for black people. And she's always been 10 toes down. And she's, and she's going to come and talk to us tomorrow. And so this is tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Nicole's View. Man, I miss her YouTube channel. I want her to get it cracking again. But that was something. Now let me go over to my Instagram, because there's some things I bookmarked over on Instagram that I want to show y'all. There was some things I bookmarked on Instagram I want to show y'all. Where is my bookmarks? Instagram desktop is stupid. Instagram desktop is stupid. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, I have that one. No, well, that's not it. That's not it. Let me go to it. Oh, here we go. So then I got Questlove on here. Questlove put up this video right here.
I was like, dang, that's crazy. So for years, I didn't like her because of that. Then last night, because I was bored, I sat down and said, well, how many thousands? 10, 20, 30,000 dudes? So from 2004 to 2010, Kamala Harris was the district attorney for San Francisco. And in that time, she had several convictions for marijuana charges. Her total amount was 1,956 people. And you might say to yourself, that's not thousands. I know. Because
let me bring you some context to this. Weed was already legal in San Francisco during that time. Although they didn't go to jail like he's going to say, weed was still legal during that time span in San Francisco. But these black men disproportionately got shit put on their records because they weren't doing something that was technically legal at the right place. Well, it wasn't legal, it was decriminalized. So they had a decriminalized drug, quote unquote, that kept finding a way to still charge black men. Let's bring context to what this brother's saying. The context is weed was already decriminalized in San Francisco and in California. We have fucking pot weed dispensaries. You can go to the fucking store and buy weed during the time these black men were convicted.
even less actually went to jail. The number
Less went to jail. Why are any going to jail when a drug over something that's decriminalized?
was 45. So for years we've been told, hey, she's locking up black men left and right unjustly for weed charges, when in fact, not really. Now, I will say, in 2010, when the bill came up for them to legalize weed, she sat on the sidelines. 2016, she did the same. She didn't come forward and speak publicly about it until 2018. So, just to give you a little fact checking, Kamala Harris isn't responsible for locking up thousands of black men for weed. I don't even know where that came from. And
this is what they do. They take a slither of an argument and make it seem like it's the truth. Kamala Harris's issue is blocking up black men. Weed is a slither of the reasons why she locked up black men. She locked up under her tenure, black dudes were getting locked up, like I showed you earlier on that text message, through gang injunctions, hanging out with their own brother, because I'm in a gang, my brother's in the gang. Oh, y'all two together, you both going to jail because your gang just committed a crime around the corner. Yeah, we talking about that. And we're talking about black men that were convicted over a drug that was that was decriminalized. Why is this dude just pushing off to the side? Oh, well, why? You know the reason why? The reason why, let me, can I break this down for y'all? This off the top of my head. Let's go. When did we get California? Not that one. Not the Marijuana Act. Here we go. 2004. 2004 is when the dispensary started opening up. The Compassionate Use Act, 1996, is when it was when the chains first started getting broken. So when you go back, see, you can't really can't really rewind on these. I want to go back to that stat that
now,
we had.
honestly, it came from the internet.
When you go back to it, I'm gonna let it play around and I'm gonna pause it when it come back to it.
And that's my fault. So hopefully you learn something and you don't do the same. Let's go, Kamala.
People
were the victim of in our community.
Let me go back and pause that stat. Let me pause it. Because it came by fast. It came by fast.
And I was like, dang, that's crazy. So for years I didn't like her because of that. Then last night, because I was bored, I sat down and I said, well, how many thousands? 10, 20, 30,000 dudes? So from 2004 to 2010, Kamala Harris was the district.
2004. Weed is decriminalized when she gets in, okay?
Attorney for San Francisco. And in that time, she had several convictions for marijuana charges.
She had several convictions for marijuana charges during a time that weed was decriminalized. Let's go.
Her total amount was
1,900 misdemeanor felony charges: possession, cultivation, or sale. Possession, cultivation, or sale in a state that has weed decriminalized. In the city of San Francisco, I gotta look it up, but the city of San Francisco actually decriminalized weed before the state of California did. If I'm not mistaken, the city of San Francisco stopped that back in the 90s.
956 people. And you might say to yourself, that's not thousands. I know, because even less actually went to jail. The number
even less went to jail.
Was 45. So
45 people went to jail during a time that weed was decriminalized.
For years, we've been told, hey, she's locking up black men left and right unjustly for weed charges. When in fact, not.
Right here. They put Kamala Harris, first off, look where look at, this is how they manipulate stats, people. Notice how they manipulate the stats. Kamala Harris's tenure was 2004 to 2010. Right here. Her tenure is right here. They give us an arrow at where it was when she left. But look at where it was while she was in office. What's that? 2005? She got in office 2004. So the 2005 point, this is what marijuana conviction, this is his stat. This is the source, District Attorney's Office of San Francisco. She took office in 2004. Where my arrow is where marijuana conviction charges were when she took office. It spiked while she was in office, and it went close to all-time highs. It went above the high for 1994. This here is where weed was when weed was decriminalized, 94, 95. This is when it was still totally illegal. This is what it was under Kamala Harris, this part right here. So it actually spiked during her tenure and it dropped off. Guess when? 2010. Oh, what was 2010? That was when it was time for her to run for the Senate. For state attorney general. 2010 was when she put her bid in to be the California state attorney general. So the numbers went down the year she decided to go for a state office. But I'm using the stat. I'm not even going, I can go find the stat. I'm using the stat all of these niggas who think they're the smartest person in the room is using. I'm using their stat. Chat room. Chat room? Chat room. Hey, let me blow this up. I forgot I can blow this up. Let me blow this up. Let me blow this up. This is the smartest guy in the room that everybody is sharing. Questlove, and everybody is sharing. Everybody is sharing this smart guy's comments. Okay, look. And this is how they lie to you with statistics. You can be lied to with statistics. That's why I don't do stats. Like I will bring stats to beef up a point of view, but I'll never use stats to prove my point of view. Because if I gotta use anybody that's using stats as a blanket statement, they're bullshitting you. Kamala's time was 2004 to 2010. 2004, California is at a low, the lowest it's been since 1983, it looks like. This is where the low was when Kamala took office. This spike is Kamala's tenure. And it only went down when she was leaving the position to go run for the state attorney general. Desmond Peoples, you said your mama sent you this? With all due respect. Because I know my parents own it too. Look, I'm with you, Desmond. My parents own it too. If you black and your parents, thank God for all of us who still have our parents around. My wife's parents still around. They are on that Kamala Harris train. And if you're a black millennial like me and your parents are around, they ain't gonna get it. Just let them have it. I don't even talk to this shit with my parents. I don't even talk to my parents about this shit. Let them have it. That's what they feel. But these people like Questlove, these niggas is getting paid. Allegedly. So I'm using the smart guy's video to prove that marijuana convictions, something that was decriminalized by the state, by the way. And mind you, those was the best year for weed. When they made it legal in 2016, that shit started getting whack. It's whack now. You go into the shop, they got these fancy ass jars of badass weed. I miss the old decriminalized days between 2000 and 2016. We can go into a shop and get your shit. So yeah, she managed to spike weed convictions during a time weed was decriminalized. That's Kamala Harris, using your own shit against you.
Not really. Now, I will say, in 2010, when the bill came up for them to legalize weed, she sat on the sidelines.
Uh-huh. So this is Kamala. People like Questlove. Let's go on Questlove's page. Is he talking about anything political before this? Mind you, this race has been going on for a long time. Nope. Nope. Nothing political. Nope. Nothing political. You see how they become political overnight? Why did everybody become political overnight? The Democrats use these black celebrities the same way the Republicans was using Hulk Hogan's racist bitch ass. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's a hoe. We should start calling him a Hulk Hogan. H-O-E-L-U-K. That's how I'm gonna start calling him. H-O-E-L-U-K Hogan. That racist bitch. But the Republicans brought him in because they know that their fan base is a whole bunch of racist assholes. And they do the same with your black ass. Bring in a whole bunch of people you like from the 90s to tell you a whole bunch of shit you don't need to hear. And of course, you know, D.L. Hewley, he on it. Oh my God. D.L. Hewley ain't found the Democratic ass cheek that he ain't willing to kiss. Let me see this. I want to show y'all this other thing that was going on. I want to show y'all this. Where did it go? I want to scroll. Here we go. Select. I got something else I want to show y'all. It was this bullshit. I didn't watch it. I should have watched it, Just so I can get a good laugh. But I didn't watch it. Was it this? Yeah, it was this. I didn't watch it, but I should have watched it for a laugh. I remember, did y'all see this yesterday? Black men for Kamala Harris. You see all these henpeck niggas? You see this shit? These niggas. You have people like, oh, fuck. No, I don't want to do that. You have people like Van Lathan. I know at this moment, and here's the thing about it. It's the way they talk. They talk different than they talk in their regular lives. That's the part I don't be respecting. Like, nigga, you don't even talk like that. Niggas be using words like unequivocal and the fuck out of here. I know look at all the extra words. I am now, in this moment, more dedicated to Kamala Harris being president than I have ever been to any political endeavor in my life. And it is because I am shocked at the number of black people telling me this can't be done. Nigga, this nigga writing this shit. Joe Biden's ink didn't dry on his resignation from the campaign. This is a talking. Some white woman wrote this. I'm going to send you a text message. Copy and paste that text message into your Twitter, and that's all we need. Thank you. We have got to throw off the shackles. What? What? Oh my God. We ain't even gonna talk about Van Jones crying. Oh my God. He's like a grandfather to me.
We're the victim of misinformation in our community.
And look what Questlove wrote. Look at this sucker shit. Well, let me see it. Let me go to the whole one. Look at this sucker shit. Some of us see this as a no-brainer. Some of you are inside your feelings and fear that's okay. But just know that the other side will not be resting until they pull every trick, racist, sexist rules out of the hat. Do not cut off the nose to spite the face. I know it's exhausting. I know it's inconvenient. But y'all need to get some fight in you. Oh, nigga, when the fuck? How is this? He's telling us to get fighting us to back somebody who says she ain't giving black people nothing. But let's keep reading. This drowning in self-pity, throwing in the towel, giving up, talking, posting, eye-jing from the sidelines is not the energy needed. I know the future I want for myself and my loved ones and my word. And that future does not hand the keys over to a twice impeached, multiple convicted, sexist, racist, insurrectionist. There's absolutely zero reason for us as a people to fumble with seconds left in the game. And yes, I truly understand the exhausting frustration felt. Where left is right, up is down, right is wrong. Seems to be getting away with everything. All that stops when you collectively decide to step up and brave these next few months. Do not throw the future away just to prove a point. Fatigue is setting in. It's time to power up and see it through. And what about this? That call. This here. A Zoom call in 3 hours raised $1.5 million for Kamala Harris. Another one, black men raised $1.3 million. Where are black people to raise this kind of money when we have something that we need going on? We got a lot of shit to raise. We got kids without books. We got school systems that are literally shutting down here in Inglewood. We got a lot of things that need money. And y'all raising money on a Zoom call for her. The same woman who, might I add, let me go back to my bookmarks. Said this. Well, I gotta get on camera for this. I gotta get on camera for this.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Read the body language.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Democratic Party for a very long time, not just this election cycle, has been doing a lot of active outreach around South Asians, around the API in general, and will continue to do it. I mean, what we know in particular when you're talking about the South Asian community, we're talking about the Indian community more specifically, it is a growing community in the United States in terms of its voting bloc, in terms of its participation, and I think the party knows that and knows that this is part of our collective community, and there needs to be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Knock wood.
Like every other year. My grandparents were phenomenal. We would go back to India like every other year. My grandfather fought for and was a defender of the freedom of India. When I was a young girl, being the eldest grandchild, my grandfather would take me on his morning walk. All of his buddies who also were great leaders, and they would talk about the importance of fighting for a democracy and the importance of fighting for civil rights and that people would be treated equally regardless of where they were born or the circumstances of their birth. Get out there and fight for the best of who we are. Those walks along the beach in India really planted something in my mind and created a commitment in me before I even realized it. It has led me to where I am today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my true distinct pleasure to introduce the first senator of Indian American heritage in the history of U.S. Senate.
Please join us and text South Asians to 70785.
I played those for a reason, y'all, because in 2 videos, she's showing specific outreach to Asians. But when it comes to black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
That's an honest bitch. And I'm bringing it from that point of view because you have too many hand-picked, coon-ass Negroes who are saying we need to vote for her because she's black. Indian mom. She didn't have a relationship with her father. Did y'all know that? She went to high school in Canada. Did you know that? I'm gonna be talking about Kamala a whole lot as this goes on. I'm saving some stuff. Don't wait till I go in on a relationship between her and her dad. Kamala gonna keep cutting. As long as Kamala's running, you guys can buckle your seatbelt and guarantee goddamn T. I'm gonna have a lot of material to talk about as long as Kamala's running. Yeah, and for you rest of you dickheads coming in here talking about something, you don't talk about the Republicans the same way. Well, guess what? The Republicans aren't saying vote for me because you're black. That's why. The Republicans ain't asking shit from me. The Republicans feel The Republicans understand that they're not pandering to me. They're not asking for my vote. I would look like of course, I talked about the Republicans last week. I had a good time clowning a racist little convention. That shit was fun. But you look like a fucking idiot always going up against somebody who ain't even talking to you. Republicans ain't talking to me. The Democrats, however, are. The Democrats are sending D.L. Hewley, Roland Martin, Questlove, everybody we like from the 90s. They put money in their pockets to say, I'm a black man. When I get I have to deal with text messages from these dickheads when they're sending out these promos. I got to deal with the drop downs and the promos and the algorithms pushing Kamala Harris bullshit onto me when I'm born and raised here in California and I know what that evil bitch witch did. So don't talk to me about none of this shit. I got to deal with it. They knocking on my fucking door. When I ain't thinking about Kamala Harris, I'm tweeting, do somebody, I like this person because of their music. Oh, Kamala Harris. This nigga ain't said shit about politics in 15, since they been living. Oh, the check cleared? Use best of votes for Kamala Harris? I don't got nobody on the Trump campaign all up in my algorithm coming saying vote for Trump. I don't get that. So ain't nothing to talk about because they're not in my fucking face. You dumb idiots that say that shit. You look, and I don't hold anything back. I called y'all stupid because you are. We've had a long time to learn and understand how this shit works. We saw under President Obama all them black people get killed with a black president. We saw 4 years of Trump. He didn't do shit but tweet and fuck with China. Trump's biggest issue was China. And was you paying attention for 4 years, you idiot? All Trump did was tweet, talk shit about immigrants, and talk shit about China. He didn't do shit to us. He didn't do nothing for us. He didn't do nothing to us. He tweeted, played golf, and harassed the Chinese government. That's what he did. But I saw Obama sit idly by when Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Rakia Boyd, Eric Gardner, Alton Sterling, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I saw him not do nothing. I also saw Obama bring in, remember that white cop that arrested Henry Louis Gates in 2009 at his own house? Remember when Obama had a beer with the white cop and didn't do nothing about it? That should have told us something back then. That alone should have told me not to vote for him again in 2012, but I was stupid. Oh, he black. I was stupid. Oh, he black. I'm going to vote for him again. Even though he had a fucking beer with the white cop that arrested Henry Louis Gates at his own fucking house, giving him his Negro wake-up call. I'm supposed to forget all that because I'm a drummer. Questlove, I've always been a fan of Questlove on the drums. Y'all know me. Shit, I was at a concert last week. I saw Common and Questlove at a concert a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to sit here and diss Questlove like that. But truth is truth, homeboy. You going around trying to mislead the people, telling them to vote for somebody because your check cleared. I ain't with that. I ain't with that. Your check cleared, now you want to influence elections? No. Trump's people aren't doing that to me. They're not bothering me. Trump's people leave me the fuck alone. Because I ain't vote for neither one of them motherfuckers anyway. At least Trump has Trump ain't gonna do shit for me. At least he got the decency to not fucking bother me. That's the difference. You motherfuckers is bimbos. Yeah, Trump is already president. What have I got to imagine? Like these dudes stupid? Like they're fucking bimbos. They are. They're bimbos. These people are bimbos. So I don't get Look, there's only one relationship I have to politicians. That is their policy. There's only one way a politician can affect you, positively or negatively. And that is one, I said one way. Well, it's all the same thing. Just different levels of the same thing. A politician can only affect you in the policies that they champion, getting signed into legislation, and then the subsequent execution of those policies pushed through legislation. That's the only way a politician can affect me. My only relationship with a politician is their connection to policy. Kamala Harris, one of the first things that they did when the coronavirus hit, they had the different things that were signed. Remember one of the first things that was signed? Let me see if I can go back to the first days. I'm gonna go to whitehouse.gov. I'm sure I should be able to go back to the first things. The early days of the Biden. Let me see here. Let me see. The first thing that they did when they got in the office, here we go. Immigrant policies, racial underserved communities. This targeted Asian communities and Latino communities, not black communities. Let's see, this is some of the early stuff they did. These are the early days. Where is that? Let's get to the when the virus hit. The virus hit. Let me see here. Gender identity. Let me gotta skip to it. This is because this. Remember, Kamala said because so far she hasn't really said much of what she gonna do. She's pushing Joe's agenda. Joe targeted people based on gender. People that identify as certain genders, they got something from the government. Okay. COVID thing. I want to go to February once the COVID virus hit. I think it was around March. Of that year. Transgender military plan, okay. I want to go into the part where they gave Asians specific protections. And I'm gonna be all day going to that because that was like in March 2021. Remember when they gave Asians specific protections, I should say. Yeah, it would be too far to go back. I would have to search for fucking days to find that. But you guys can go back and look it up when they they gave us Black History Month. Okay, yeah. But you guys can go back and look it up when Asians got money specifically for them after the coronavirus. Lesbian, gay, queer rights, okay. What I see through their policy, southern border, their policy was basically targeting anything that was good, specifically for non-black people. This is the American Rescue Plan. Remarks. This was something that did not help black people. And on top of that, it did not go through. This was something that they just talked to us about. Look here. This is remarks in the briefing room. She remarked on it. She didn't do nothing. Black people get remarks. We get acknowledgement. We get acknowledgement. We get talked to. We get conversations. We get, it's going to be better next time. Here we go. That's what we get. we get the benign neglect policy. Y'all want to look that up? Let me see here. Let me see if I can find the benign neglect policy. Let me see here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? See, there's a lot of the stuff is just harder to find now. Let me see here. Is this it? The Moynihan benign neglect policy. Anyway, you guys could look it up by Moynihan, and it was a policy that was done, and it was done towards black people. And then the benign neglect policy, it basically said black people can, when they were talking about, or was that the Kerner Commission report? What was that Kerner Commission report? Let me see. Let me see if I can find that PDF. No, it wasn't here. I can't find it. It's not. Well, in the report, it basically says, when it's talking about all the riots that's going on in LA, not just in LA, in DC, Baltimore, and all across the country, in the report, it's talking about, why black people were rioting so much. And it says that we were basically promised a whole bunch of shit they didn't plan on getting us. And it said that during this time, we can basically offer black people benign neglect support. Acknowledge their issues, acknowledge their problems, tell them and empathize what's going on, but promise nothing for solutions. And that's what you just saw right there from Kamala Harris. Talk to us, talk shit, say what you're gonna do. Say, what's possible, acknowledge what's wrong, but offer nothing in return. That's the key part of the benign neglect report. Offer nothing in return. Just talk a bunch of good shit. Talk a bunch of hot shit. Offer nothing. And that's how they do it. And Kamala Harris is pushing that policy. So, one more thing before I get up out of here. I didn't even bring up the whole Nina Simone situation. Do y'all know that Kamala Harris took Nina Simone's catalog? Watch this. This is a video I did earlier.
My skin is black.
That's Nina Simone singing right there. Y'all heard that song get sampled by Jay-Z in the story of OJ. But you know that Nina Simone's daughter and granddaughter and family did not get the royalties to that. Neither did they have any say-so in Nina Simone's documentary in her movie, because Kamala Harris in 2013, do you know that she took Nina Simone's estate from her daughter, from her granddaughter? Yeah, the same Kamala Harris that we all see running on the sister girl this, sister girl that. In 2013, she charged Nina Simone's daughter with improper use of funds of Miss Nina Simone's estate. And it's alleged that her daughter used $2 million, around $2 million for personal reasons. Kamala Harris's Attorney General office came in and they took the estate by fining Nina Simone's daughter over $6 million in penalty fees for what she did, or what they alleged that she did. And instead of going around and working with her, instead of finding a way and saying, hey, pay restitution, she took the estate of Miss Nina Simone and gave it to white people. And yes, so the estate of one of the most pro-black, downright strong for Black American sisters estate is being run by white people because of Kamala Harris. They went so far as, if you guys saw Nina Simone's movie, do you remember the big uproar that they had over Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone? Yeah, that was done by the people that took over the estate after Kamala Harris assigned it to them. Does this woman on screen look like this woman on screen? Does Zoe Saldana look anything like Nina Simone? So no, the family did not get to benefit from the movie. And this was all done just before her movie was released, and they started to re-release a lot of Nina Simone music and things from the past. So yeah, right when it came time to produce and to really reintroduce Nina Simone back to the world, Kamala Harris took the estate from her daughter. And so that is just a little bit of a eye peek into who she is. She's someone who runs black, talks black when it's convenient, but when it's time to, she attacks black. And Kamala Harris has a long history here in California of targeting black people to attack. This is just one of many cases. You're gonna find out more from me. In the meantime, I'm Dewan B. Y'all stay. That's me from a video I did earlier. That's right, O'Brien Tucker. If we all can't be comfortable, we can all be equally uncomfortable. Yeah. Appreciate the super chat. So yeah, that's Kamala Harris. She targeted Nina Simone's estate. And after they targeted her estate, I went to a show at the Hollywood Bowl last year, dedicated to Nina Simone. And the people I was with, I told them the story back then. I was like, you notice all the celebration of Nina Simone? That started after they took her estate. The daughter apparently misappropriated some funds that was supposed to go to charity. What happens usually in situations like this is people can get a fine, but most of the time they're still allowed to maintain control of the estate, or the estate will assign someone to oversee and audit the estate and make sure everything's in line for a few years and then let it back go. That's usually what they'll do. Taking it for that amount of money, especially, when you look at the chess pieces, how they fell, they ended up pimping that. After they took it, they now have a tour going around there doing Nina Simone concerts. They made a movie about her, and her name is all over the forefront, but not until after they took her estate. And Kamala Harris helped them white folks do it. Here it is right here. These are tweets. These are old tweets from Nina Simone's granddaughter. I found these. I went did some research over on Reddit, and they found the old tweets that she put out back then. Look, this is Rihanna Simone Kelly. Nina's granddaughter here. My family doesn't run her estate anymore. It was taken away and given to white people. Our family name was dragged in the media. We get no royalties, nothing. Want to hold someone accountable? Ask Kamala Harris. Let's look at another tweet she put out. The follow-up. Ask Kamala Harris why her actions separated my family. Ask her why my grandmother's estate is in shambles now. Ask her why, as her family, we no longer own the rights to anything. They even took her rights. They didn't just take control of the estate and assign an executor to control the estate. They took away the rights. Ask her why she wanted my family to walk away with nothing. Ask her why she put so many slanderous lies about my mother in the media. Ask why my mother almost killed herself from the depression. Ask her why after all the presidential inauguration, they sang a Nina Simone song to swear Kamala in as VP. She knew what she was doing. Ooh, that's a dirty bitch. I didn't read that line. Hold on. When she got sworn in as VP, she sang she played a Nina Simone song. Wow. And this is from Nina Simone's granddaughter. My family is broke right now. Do y'all understand me? My grandmother's music is everywhere. Her beautiful legacy that she worked so hard for and left behind is influencing the masses, and I'm proud. But me as her granddaughter, I've considered stripping just so I can pay my bills. Whoa, God damn. It's fucked up. It makes me angry. It breaks my heart. I feel so separated from my legacy. I see grandma on billboards and I see people performing her songs. I know that those royalties are going to everyone but my grandmama's family. I know that I can't even pay my tuition. Yes, I've been scared to tell my family's truth. My mom had a gag order placed on her, meaning she can't publicly speak about what happened. And if I speak, I'm thinking, what if Kamala comes for me? But I need people to know what happened. I need people to understand. What's up, T. Clay? In the chat. What's up, everybody in the chat? Autumn Star, appreciate y'all for joining. Quan, all my moderators, appreciate y'all. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube. We got over 2,000 people in here. Hit the Cash App, $ DeJuan Brown. Let me know you hear me. Let me know you hear me. Hit the Cash App, $ DeJuan Brown. All this stuff goes to my purpose and what I do. On Thursday, I'll be back to filming. I got a few pastors lined up to film my next installment of the documentary. And I got a couple people who've been out of town on tour the last 6 months, finally in LA. So I can finally finish off filming for my documentary. It's bigger than hip hop, the Black American music family tree. This means a lot to me because Nina Simone means so much to Black people. She means so much to us. Nina Simone dedicated her career to us, to speaking for us, to giving love for us. And for this woman who identifies as Indian to take this Black woman's legacy and give it to white women, leaving her family in shambles. I can't get with that. This woman targets Black people is what I'm trying to say. She has a record of targeting us. If she just left us the fuck alone, I wouldn't have nothing to say about Kamala. I'd be like, elect her too. At least it ain't a white man. That's what I'd be saying. If Kamala had a history of just leaving us alone, then whatever. Be president. I don't give a fuck. But she got to where she got because of how she targets us. She got her jobs because they knew that she would target us. And I'm not willing to give that bitch one more chance to target us. Give a fuck about no Trump. Do you guys know that the shit that's in Project 2025 they can already do because of the fucking Patriot Act? God, the Patriot Act already once they declare martial law, all that shit that's in Project 2025 can happen. Most of it. And the rest of it cannot. It's just never going to get pushed through. And like I did on the show before, that whole school voucher, a lot of stuff on Project 2025, the Democrats support too. It's the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage money funds both sides. They just put more money to the Republicans, but they in the Democrats' pockets too. Bill Clinton passed Heritage Foundation legislation back in the 90s. So you ain't gonna scare me with that shit. You ain't gonna scare me with that shit. Oh, now it's gonna be some projects 2025. Niggas been living in the projects. If you come from the project, you better not be no goddamn scared. No, nigga, we done been through the projects. Nigga, Black people are the project of America. All Project 2025 is gonna make legal what they've been doing to us the whole fucking time. So now they get the heat. Appreciate the Cash App, Derek. Should y'all flood me? Appreciate the Cash App, Ebony. Ebony with the Cash App. Much love. John, appreciate the Cash App. Appreciate the Cash App, John. Yeah. So, and when it come down to it, Black women, y'all don't want Kamala Harris anyway, because you know who Kamala Harris is? Kamala Harris is that Black, or that you think is a black woman that you work with at your job, that you be at going to lunch with, yucking it up, thinking y'all cool. Meanwhile, she fucking the white boss, and you don't know it, and she telling her everything you said at work. Now you wonder why you can't get a promotion. That's Kamala Harris. Throughout her tenure in San Francisco and LA, in California, she's been that one, that black woman, that black looking woman who uses her quote unquote blackness to get in position, to only get into position to fuck over black people. Appreciate the Cash App, Trina. But yeah, continue to support. Hit the Cash App. I might get up out of here. Gave y'all 2 hours. I got to get on my grill. On Larry here. Oh shit, I should have been charging my phone this whole time. Hey Larry, when I'm done, I gotta call you and talk about what the fuck I'm not about to talk about none of that shit online. But anyway, yeah, she the fucking devil. She's the fucking devil. That's who she is. And I don't believe in playing devil's advocate or rewarding the devil for shit. I'm judging that woman off how she act, not how I want her to be. You know? Business calls. I gotta get off here. I'm getting business calls. So anyway, thank y'all again for listening. Whew. It's been a lot. It's a lot going on. And I should have had my phone charging because I know I'm about to be right back on this bitch in a second. But thank y'all again for listening. And remember, don't fall for the hype. Politics is just a hype game. It's all fake. It's all contrived. What's going to happen happens. But the people who do become leaders, they do have slight control over certain policies. If it's the left, like I said, if it's the left, everything's going to go towards immigration, LGBTQ, and those type policies. If it's on the right, it's going to go towards business, and all kind of other shit. But outside of those small things, it's all the same. Same bird, same bird, same bird. It's just a play for us to watch. But it's a very entertaining play for us to watch. Just like the NBA. NBA is fixed. You cannot tell me otherwise. But when that season come in October, I'm going to be watching all them motherfucking games. Watching that fixed entertainment the same way I watched wrestling back when it was the Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. It's all the same fake shit. So let's grab our popcorn. Let's have a good time. Let's not fall out with one another over a whole bunch of dickheads that don't like us. You dig? And I'm gonna do a reading on Kamala Harris pretty soon too. I'm not feeling I don't want to read her right now. I did like 4 readings yesterday and like 2 this morning. Reading, I'm tired right now. Like I've done like too many readings like the last couple of days. I'm kind of tapped out. Like I got a woosah. I can't read her today, but I will pull my cards out, and we're going to do a reading on Kamala Harris. We're going to read her pretty soon, all right? Because she's going to say some shit and do some shit, and it's going to make me do a video about her. And whenever she say that dumb shit and do that dumb shit, I'm going to do a video to disprove her bullshit, and then that time we're going to read her, all right? But thank y'all again for listening. Fuck you, Larry. Niggas said read these Nikes. Nah, Jane, you better read these hands because I am the man. All right, remember this. My name is Dwan B. And this is love each other, man. Don't let these people fuck us over. It's just a play. But in the play, let's enjoy ourselves and watch it. And at the same time, I don't want to reward this evil bitch for the part she played in this play. Fuck Kamala Harris. And remember, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. I'm out.